What's up, Cancer? Welcome to your December general reading. This is going to be for you, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, but keep in mind that it's not going to resonate with all of you guys, okay? So definitely check out your other personal placements. Welcome to Sag season. Welcome to December. If you are curious, I actually did do a video just on some key December dates. I will put the link in the description box below, but it's about 11 minutes long and it just gives you kind of like a collective idea of what these transits mean, but we'll talk about them a little bit more in a personal way for this reading. So December is very active. There's a lot going on, and it starts out actually with today. Today, December 1st, Neptune is going direct. Now, Neptune is that dreamy, planet that rules Pisces. So this going direct, it brings a lot of things to light. It kind of cuts through the illusions. It cuts through the fakeness, the fake things, fake circumstances, fake people. And it really, I think over time has, it's making us look at relationships different. Now, it's been retrograde since June 25th. So this whole time we've kind of been in this cloud where now things are becoming very, very, very clear to us, okay? So we've got that. We've got a new moon happening in Sagittarius, which is also a solar eclipse. Eclipses are strong energy. And I always kind of like to lay low during eclipse times. You might want to be by yourself, but if you are with people, I would suggest being with people for you guys. I think this would be a good time to maybe, call up some of your close friends and just have like a nice intimate time over the weekend. I think you'll be really rejuvenated next week after this solar eclipse, okay? This solar eclipse is going to be really important for you guys because we are in your 6th house energy. So any kind of things that you put forth towards, your daily routines and, in ways that you want that to change, whether it's like implementing new things, meditation, working out, all that kind of stuff. There's a big emphasis on your routines this month, your work, your service to others, and your health. So even if there is something that you've been wanting to incorporate, even if there's like, a new routine that you've been wanting to do, this is a really good time for you guys to start that new routine. And it's a really good chance that things will stick. And I don't know about you guys, but it's the thing to make a New Year's resolution, but I actually am more successful with it. I find when I either make my resolution on my birthday, because that's my new year, or even a little bit before New Year's actually hits, because I'm already kind of in the flow, so that whenever it does come around, I've kind of already hooked in there. That's just what I like to do. But anyways, this is a really good time for you to start thinking about those things. Now, interesting, on December 13th, we've got Mercury moving to Capricorn and we've got Mars moving to Sagittarius. Mercury moving to Capricorn is going to put a lot of emphasis on your relationships, right? Because that's your 7th house energy. So your relationships, your partnerships, not just your intimate ones, relationships with your family, your friends, your employers, all of that. It's going to be highlighting certain communication around that for you guys. And I think for a lot of Cancers at this time, especially if you've been a Cancer that maybe you've been trying to shy away from doing too much, being too vulnerable, getting too close, I think that you'll find around this time that you are craving more of like a certain level of intimacy from somebody or your partner, or, again, if you've been single, maybe this is like, I could like have a little like boo thing, I don't know if it's like cuffing season. I don't know if it's that, but there's a lot of emphasis on your 7th house. So you might be feeling like you're craving really strong partnerships. And again, not just in intimate partnerships, but just even like your friendships. Everything has to be really solid. Everything has to be really strong now. With Mercury going into Capricorn, Capricorn is responsible and Capricorn don't play. And so I think that's kind of how we're all kind of handling things right now. Now, Mars going into Sagittarius, again, that gives you more drive, especially for these new goals that you may have in terms of routine, in terms of fitness, in terms of health, in terms of whatever. This is a really, really good time. Mars is the planet of action and drive and sex even. So again, going back to even the intimacy thing, I think that's coming up a lot this month. I think that's something that kind of happens anyway. With people just being around the holidays, there is something about that makes us kind of want to be closer to people, whether we celebrate or not. But that is especially the truth for you guys at this moment. And then what else do we have? Oh, we have Venus going retrograde. So even though you guys definitely, I feel like are craving connection, you know, just know that Venus retrograde sometimes can bring a level of like stagnancy to a relationship. So I would say too, you know, Mercury's really active this month. If you guys are, let's say if you're like in an in-between stage in a relationship, like let's say if this is like you're in a situationship type thing and you kind of got the itch where you're wanting to kind of establish more of a solid, yo, what are we or what are we doing? It will be a good time to kind of have those conversations before December 19th when Venus goes retrograde. Because again, Venus retrograde can put relationships at a standstill. There's not really much going on. Romance can be kind of meh. It can just kind of meh, you know. In Venus retrograde, it'll show us where the holes are or where the cracks are in our relationships, or even in the way that we spend money and stuff too, because right, Venus is the ruler of beauty, money, luxury, all of that. So it brings that to the forefront. Also, I would advise, which I said this in the December video, but not the greatest of times during a Venus retrograde to make any significant changes to your appearance, okay? Just, I wouldn't. You could, if it's something that you've been thinking about for a while, maybe get it done prior, or you know, get it done during the time if you're feeling confident and this is something you've been wanting to do. But if you're feeling like impulsive and, oh, I'm tired of looking at my hair, I'm gonna cut bangs or something, girl, don't. So there's that. Full moon, what else? We talked about that. Full moon in Gemini, that's where you're gonna have that urge, or you'll have that boost. It'll be really helpful in terms of having these conversations. And that's going to be happening the day before Venus goes retrograde. So that happens on the 18th. So timing might be a little tricky, but that's what's that. What else? Sun goes into Capricorn on the 21st, which for you guys, again, Capricorn season's a lot to do with relationships. That's your 7th house. So we're kind of going into that anyways. And then Jupiter goes into Pisces, which is really cool because Jupiter is Pisces' original ruler. It feels very comfortable there. There's a lot of joy and luck and expansion that can happen there. And for you guys, this has a lot to do with either your travel. This could have to do with like your belief systems, your outlook on life, your cultural, what am I trying to say? Your cultural like exposure, perhaps. Yeah, so there's a lot of expansion. But let's get into these chords, okay? So, right. Remember how I said Neptune going direct and like this new moon and all this stuff kind of shows, like has shined a light on you guys wanting more intimacy or being more aware of the things that you feel like you're missing. I feel like that's what this kind of Four of Cups energy is kind of tying into, you know, because a Four of Cups energy is when we kind of look around and we're not really like jazzed about whatever is in front of us, right? Like the options aren't that great. We're starting to see the holes. Maybe we're starting to have some regret, maybe not wanting to do it. Again, Venus retrograde, especially in relationships, I wouldn't make any like crazy declarations at this time while Venus is retrograde. But if there are certain talks that you're needing to have, I think it's important to have those now. Now, I'm getting the feelings, Cancer, that you might have been standoffish at one time. And I say that too because you got that Four of Cups here, but also in your past position, you have a Four of Pentacles. So this is kind of an energy of holding back, but I don't feel like this is necessarily where you're going. I feel like this is where you've been, but now you're realizing that maybe that hasn't worked for you. It's almost like for some of you, maybe you were kind of trying to play it cool, trying to go about relationships a little bit differently so you don't get hurt this time or whatever. And I think you're starting to realize that there are certain things that you just need and certain ways that you just are and you're okay with it. You know what I mean? It feels like there's communication coming in about relationships, definitely, or about feelings, about connection with someone. You've got the Page of Cups and you've got the Ace of Swords. Now, Page of Cups is a message, right? Pages are messages. It's usually having to do with love or something that, you know, you're really connected to emotionally. It could even have to be doing with intuition. Some of you guys might be involved in something. It feels like it's not going kind of back to that, like if you're in one of those relationships where it's like a situationship, you don't really know where it is. I think that that's kind of been on your mind a lot, Cancer. You've got this Nine of Swords, which is fear. I think with Neptune going direct and all this activity happening in your 7th house with Mercury, it's really kind of making you face your fears and where you've been like holding back, right? Maybe where you've been loving in your own way, but maybe it's been very small, where you've been just kind of inching gradually. I think that if that's the case, there was a defense mechanism there. I think a lot of Cancers, you know, you don't always have the easiest time with love, right? Because people unfortunately can find a way to take advantage of you because your heart is so big and you're so nurturing. And I think that maybe that has, in a way, for some of you guys, held you back from really being your authentic self in certain relationships. And I think that these are things that are coming to the forefront. It almost feels as if you guys want more. So that's where that communication comes in. I love to see these two aces. So you've got the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands. So new communication that's loving, new things that are coming in. You know, aces are potentials, potential new beginnings. And if we're talking about cups, then we're talking about love, emotion, intuition, insights. Again, Mercury's super active this month, so there's gonna be a lot of messages coming your way. And then you got an Ace of Wands, which is all about that passion, that spark. So I feel like where things have maybe been a little slow, maybe even a little confusing, maybe a little stagnant, this might be a month, Cancer, where you're taking a little bit more charge of things and charge of the situation. Four of Pentacles. Yeah, Four of Pentacles, you've got the Pisces energy of the High Priestess here. It could also be Cancer's or Scorpio energy. But you know, it's interesting because when I see both of these together, I get more of the essence of the holding back. You know, like the Four of Pentacles is literally someone holding back, or someone not sharing, or someone being a little bit, could even be a little bit selfish, or someone just like really guarding something, right? There's like this guarding energy, this level of I have to protect this energy. But then when we talk about the High Priestess, she also holds things back in a way, right? Because she knows all the secrets. Like she knows everything about everything. She knows it all. And she doesn't necessarily give it all. She gives it all as, she gives it as it's necessary, right? But she knows everything. So both of these, like there's something you're holding back or may have been holding back on. These could be your feelings. This could also be just in terms of feeling like you can trust yourself, right? Because the High Priestess, she does trust herself. Like she is, like she knows, she has a knowing, and she doesn't second guess herself. Like when you know how to distinguish your intuition from your ego, then you just know. And I think that maybe for a while you guys have been trying to, as a way of protection, kind of like ignore something or not see something or downplay something. And now you're at this place where you're realizing it's everything that you want. Now, you've got the Six of Wands here, which is really, really good, especially for you creative Cancers. I think it's really good. I think it's about you being seen, being out there, people seeing your work. That's really, really awesome. You know, that 6th house being lit up there does have a lot to do with work, right? And all of that, along with the daily routines and the health. So this is really, really good. But in order to move forward, there is some type of a decision that needs to be made. Now, this is implying that there's something you guys have been sitting on. Whenever I get the Two of Swords, this is like you're at the fork in the road. So you have this, whatever this is, it can't move forward unless you decide, are we going to go left or are we going to go right? You know what I mean? It's like that's the next step. There's some clarity coming to you. There's some answers coming to you. I think this just all has to do with like being okay with what you want and now being in a place where you know you deserve what it is that you want. I don't know that you, whoever this is resonating for, always felt like you deserved all the good and all the nice things and all the whatever. And I think that is exactly the energy that has been holding you back, Cancer, if you've been feeling stagnant in certain things, especially your relationships. Okay? Because I got this Hangman energy. Again, there's a lot of Pisces energy here. I think that Jupiter in Pisces is going to be really important to you, really spiritual for you. A lot of spiritual downloads, a lot of new ways of looking at things that fit better with who you are and where you are in your life. Now, Hangman energy gives us perspective. That's the whole purpose. It's like, girl, you need to sit in this, you need to surrender to what is, and you need to look at this from a different perspective. With that, you've got Six of Cups, which does talk about nostalgia. It does kind of connect to innocence. It does talk about exes, or, you know, it can. People coming back. It does talk about soulmate energy. Some of you guys have not been, some of you guys, it almost feels like there's someone that you have been dealing with, someone that you love, someone that you're in a relationship with, situationship. But I want to say it's you. It may be them. Maybe them, especially if they're a Pisces, and that would honestly make sense. But I feel like for the bulk of you, it's you. You're not moving on something. And look, this Four of Cups is coming up. There's something. Neptune, this month brings you the full awareness, because I almost feel like some of you guys are involved in something and you might even be kicking yourself like, why am I not handling this different? Why am I not amped to move forward on this? Why am I not pursuing this the way I know I want to? Where is my fear? Where does the fear lie? What is the problem? And I don't know that until now you've been able to put your finger on it, Cancer, but I think that you get some definite answers here, because you got the Sun card, right? Sun is about, you know, it's the card of yes. It's the happiest card in the deck. It does talk about exposure. You know, when we get the Moon card or anything that's connected to the moon, we get this essence that things are still mysterious. There's still details that we're not getting or not understanding. Whenever we get the Sun, everything is clear. And then we've got this Eight of Wands card, which talks about fast communication. It also talks about travel. So I think this is the month where things become clear, because I feel like some of you guys have been like, you've had one foot on, you know, through the door and one foot on a banana peel in terms of a relationship. And I don't even know that even you could understand why, or what the problem was, or why you weren't moving. You get some answers this month, which is really, really great. Now, last two cards I wanted to pull as just like, yo, what's this to keep in mind? You've got the Lovers. Lovers came out and the Five of Cups came out. There is a choice to be made. The Lovers is originally called the choice. It is very much connected to making decisions in terms of what you want to do. I don't feel like it necessarily has to do with who do you love? What do you love? No, you already know what you love. I think the Lovers has more to do with, are you going to allow yourself to be in the space to receive it? It's that kind of a thing. Now, some of you guys might have to decide between two people or something like that, but I feel like this has more to do with deciding how you want to move forward in love, deciding all of that kind of thing. And this Five of Cups, you know, try not to go back into memory lane of what didn't work out in the past. Try not to let your past experiences be the thing that hinders you from moving forward, right? Six of Cups is beautiful energy, because nostalgia is beautiful, and Cancers, like no other sign, y'all, when you go through your moments of nostalgia and you just like in the past, you're thriving. But sometimes the things in the past, depending on what we're going back and looking at, or, you know, channeling or thinking about, sometimes those things are painful. So we have to know when nostalgia is working for us and when it's actually not. And for some of you guys I don't know, I just feel like there's this chance where you might be going back into some painful memories, or, you know, kind of beating yourself up over certain things that didn't work out. But I would encourage you not to. I think there's a lot of work that you guys are doing on yourself. Like I said, sixth house activated this month. There's a lot to be said in terms of elevating mind, body, and soul, Cancer. And I think that's where you are. But this month brings you some answers that you haven't been able to quite figure out for the longest. Because I think a lot of you were like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with me? I don't know, you know? What am I doing? Why am I stalling? Why am I not letting myself have this great opportunity, or this great person, or this great, you know, whatever? Like, I think this month you get answers of why you would allow certain things to hold you back. Now, You also got there's nothing sexier than my authentic truth. I've never pulled this. Today is a day where I'm pulling a lot of cards that I've never pulled in this deck, which is very, very interesting. So, yes, there is nothing sexier than my authentic truth. And that is so true, right? How sexy is it when we find someone that just stands in who they are, knows who they are, we love it, right? Stand in your truth. Okay. Dreams of abundance. As you sleep, God, your angels, and your higher self are giving you divinely guided ideas, answers, and solutions. Be sure to record your dreams in a journal because they contain valuable insights that will help you manifest your desires into reality. Okay. Yes, you did get the Nine of Swords here. You could be getting some insights or some downloads in your dreams. Definitely pay attention to those if you are. And then you've also got past life relationship. You have known each other before. Maybe for some of you guys, this Four of Cups energy and whatever energy you're standing in with this, it feels like some of you guys are like in a stalemate. Maybe it is that you're not able to let this person go because there is karmic energy or like past life energy that you're trying to work through. Everyone is going to be different. This is a general reading. This is going to resonate differently for everybody. But yeah, I think that you guys get some much needed answers this month, Cancer. And I think that this is going to be a great time to start some new routines, implement some new things to elevate your life, elevate you. And yeah, I love to see it. And I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye, Cancer.